What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game. Man, you already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to settle for the life that was faithfully designed for you, or the ability to create your path toward your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes. I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the importance of missing. Like, I don't think people really understand how being kidnapped and trapped to go away from who you truly are and everything that you stand for is the identity behind missing. Because whenever you're spiritually taught to be brainwashed and, filled with certain things about who you are, it pushes you further away from your own true identity. I know it's a lot of people that can understand how it feels to feel as if you are completely different from everybody else in the world. Like, you stand out. For some reason, you feel as if you are different from everybody else and not the same. When in reality, we are all the same. There may be some people that are just awarded certain things that maybe we haven't grown into yet. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to be jealous or envious. It's to just play your part. You know what I'm saying? Play your position. Find it and play it. You know what I'm saying? And just wait your turn. The positions that people get into in life are because, they have earned those positions. And at the end of the day, it's really like trying to control the universe. No one has that power. So if the universe feels as if he wants to award certain people with maybe just a higher level of consciousness than others, doesn't mean those people can't get it. It just means that whatever work they've been putting in is at a higher variable than maybe where yours is. But you can achieve it if you're willing to do the work required to just find your role. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes it's not obtainable because people crash out after experiencing some certain situations in their life. And understanding and realizing that what I'm about to say may piss some people off, but I'm just being honest because it's a very real thing. A child's first enemy is an unhealed parent. You just got to be real. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that unhealed parent feels emotionally and is still, you know what I'm saying, having internally is projected onto the children subconsciously, whether they believe it or not. And that's just pushing them further away from the ability to be able to truly know what they're capable of and the power that they hold. You know what I'm saying? And so over time, it starts to feel as if you missing. You know what I'm saying? From who you truly are. It's a very real thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you've been taught or led to believe that this was your life just based off of the conditioning of an unhealed parent or unhealed parents. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able to truly realize who you are, your parents have to be healed from whatever they went through, because then that frees up the ability for you to be yourself and for you to discover who you truly are without taking on their unhealed trauma. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense. But it's no other way around it. It's the truth. And a lot of us in the world have grew up with these unhealed traumas that were silently keeping us further away from who we are, but it wasn't really us for real. And it's the sense of just feeling like you're not who you are. You're somebody completely different. You've been monitored, controlled, and led to believe that you are someone that is not you. And your life revolves around the conditioning of what you believe. And if, that unhealed parent has a certain set of unhealed trauma that they pass on to you subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? Then you subconsciously pass that on to your child. And the pattern keeps repeating. And then it pushes each individual away from really truly knowing who they are. And trust me, I just speak from experience when I say I know what it feels like to feel like you're missing. To feel like you living a life so far away from who you truly are that you are losing yourself in the process. And to be able to get yourself back is a route you have to go down that no one's ever traveled, to just find out your own self-discovery. And people get upset at that. People get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have what it took in whatever part of their life to be able to go down the road to find their own self-discovery. And it's like, listen, when you're traveling down that road, it may be a point in your life where you start to travel down it, but then something happens and you find your way right back to what you thought was normal. But that's just a trap to pull you right back from ever discovering who you are. And a lot of that was led by fear, manipulation, opposition. We're going to alter their perception of reality by keeping them in fear so that they never travel down that road and discover who they are, so they can get trapped in this system that has been designed for us to keep everybody in line. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I can just truly speak for myself when I say I truly and honestly know what it feels like to feel as if you're so far gone from who you are that if you go too far off the cliff, you hanging on with just one hand, and it just feels so normal. It feels as if this is it, but you know deep down inside that it's something else. So you hang on and you use all your upper body strength and you pull yourself up with two hands and you get over that cliff by yourself, and now you standing on top of it. And now you go down the path where you learn how to discover your own self, When it comes down to understanding the process, is complicated because it goes in waves. It goes in sets. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we're just wanting to catch up to somebody so fast that we willing to just be envious and jealous of them being somewhere we're not, instead of understanding we have a role to play and we're not playing it. Because we too busy in somebody else's role. So we ain't never going to get to where we trying to get to because we completely stepped out of our role. You know what I'm saying? Listen. That's why the ability to have hatred to anybody or dislike anybody, I don't feel those emotions because I'm fully aware of us all living the human experience and how it was just mental conditioning. A lot of what people were taught was mental conditioning. And if you're in fear for your life, of course you're going to stay in line. You're not going to step out and try to figure out who you are because you done already got tested and it scared the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? So you're only a product of what you are taught and what you know. And it's up to you to just step out on a limb and use your own idea of self-discovery to find out who you truly are. And you can't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Listen, a lot of times the conditioning is so strong that it will feel as if everybody is against you, when in reality you have to think how to keep old systems in line it's better if everybody just operate the same. And then you have this one person that's going on a route that's completely different from anything that we've ever seen before. It's psychologically normal to try to fear them into staying in line, because it's a system that has been in place for so long. You know what I'm saying? Scare them as much as you can. Threaten their livelihood. Put them in a dangerous situation. Make sure you scare them the most. You know what I'm saying? So the more they're scared, the more they step in line. But it's like with this new influx of energy granted by the universe, it's to a point now where it's okay to not be scared and regulate your nervous system and know that this 3D world that we live in is an illusion painted by someone that was used to having power by keeping people in fear. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're not out here hurting anyone. You're not out here bending the rules to fit your own life. You're out here doing and operating in a world that has been set up in a way where you use your own mind, but you abide by the rules. There's no way you can go against that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because they know that, because now you have your own mind, they'll twist and bend the rules in their particular system to go against you. And you have to be able to determine, is this a scare tactic, or is this something that, you know what I'm saying, is helping you to regulate your nervous system so you can be able to see what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a system that's been going on for so long that it was easier to just scare people away from truly being themselves so that they can abide by a system where it works for the people who designed it. You got to think about it like this. I'm proud to be old soul. So I see life a little bit differently than people. And one thing that I have to say, listen, I'm not mad and I'm not shading anyone. But I grew up with a lot of women that were the oldest and their mom had a lot of kids. And so it knocked them into the role of being a mom before their time. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't want to go against it because they were led to believe that that was the role they were supposed to play because of them being the oldest sibling. You know what I'm saying? And not liking that and going against it spiritually because you're not ready, but just accepting it because you don't know no other way. You then project that onto your kids when you have some, and you led them to believe that they have to hold down the fort due to your choices, which stops them from being who they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Listen, back in the day, way before our time, it was normal to not believe in abortion and have a lot of kids because a lot of these kids and children and babies were sold into the slave trade, which helped them make more money. But now that we're in an area where it's so many preventative measures to prevent yourself from bringing life into the world, it's almost as if it's preventable. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be trapped into a life where you don't believe in abortion, but nobody's protecting themselves. You have a bunch of children and you let your oldest child take care of the children while you're off working and, you know, to provide a life for them. I get it, but that is not their responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's yours. So if you knew it was going to be too much, the smart and right way would mean protect yourself. So therefore, you wouldn't bring humans into the world. Simple knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But due to the brainwashing and conditioning and a lot of us being able to understand the concept of soul evolution, which means in our soul of who we are, it's little pieces of souls from our ancestors from way back when. It don't just stop at your parents. It don't just stop at your grandparents. It goes way, 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 way back. And until that conditioning is reformed and thought of differently, it's when that system can break. You know what I'm saying? Because it keeps you in a state of feeling as if you missing. You love them, you know what I'm saying? You know this is where you're supposed to be, but you don't feel as if you could be yourself around people that you're blood connected to, but have a different opinion of the way life should be lived. So when the tables turn and now you're in a state where you want to live life for yourself, they go against you strictly because their conditioning is so heavily influenced by who they are. They're set to go up against anyone who's a threat and an opposition to the thinking system that operates. And you got to think, it don't just go with your family. It go with everybody's family. It go with higher ups. It goes with systems. It goes like anybody that was considered a threat to anything. We will do whatever we can to make you in fear so that you get back in line. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things, man, leading up to this point weren't truthful and honest and weren't in the best state for human life. You know, it was in the best state for bending reality to the person that was in control. It's crazy, but it's a very real thing, and it truly exists. And you got to realize how that plays a part on feeling as if you missing. You missing from your own true soul. You missing from who you are. You being pulled so far away from your own identity because you know deep down inside, this is not it. This is not me. I'm not supposed to be living like this, but I'm so scared and in fear to truly be myself that it's actually killing me. You know what I'm saying? And listen, to understand and realize that people learn and grow in stages. So sometimes you have to separate yourself from people that are conditioned to operate and think a certain way. That's the only way you'll be able to grow, because their mission is set on keeping you stuck in a system that has been working, not in self-discovery. But it doesn't mean, you gotta hate them or whatever. Don't hold no ill will, no malice, no nothing. Just understand and realize that as you grow into who you are meant to be, it subconsciously gives people the power to do the same. And it's, it's not a cakewalk. I always say this because it's not. But to the people from the outside looking in, they look at it as, oh, they this, that. No, it's not this and or that. It's in self-discovery. It's in me finally getting to a place where I don't feel like I'm missing. I don't feel like I'm trapped in a world where I can't be myself. I don't feel as if, you know what I'm saying, I have to do this to get gratification from people who are not really them. As I've grown, I realize the art of non-detachment and connection. We can only have a bond with each other if I connect. We cannot because of attachments, meaning you got to be this way, you got to look this way, you got to do this, you got to do that in order for me to be around you. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Connection has nothing to do with me holding any attachment to how you should be or how I perceive you to be, for me to be, you know what I'm saying, able to hold any type of position in your life. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I will stay far and clear away from people that are really stuck on attachment, meaning you have to operate and be this certain way for me to gravitate towards you. If you are somebody that has a mind and think for yourself, we are taught to stand down. We can't side with you. We can't kick it with you. We can't be around you because we operate in a way where you're a threat to our whole operation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get so brainwashed and so far away from who they are by operating that way. It gets to a point where, you know what I'm saying, you consider damn near missing. Because I'm not that old version of myself that was comfortable for you. I'm me. And I'm proud at being that. You know what I'm saying? I don't fit in any norm. I do things completely different in my own way. Doesn't mean I'm going against any society or, you know what I'm saying? It just means I'm different. That's it. There's nothing wrong with being different, except for the brainwashing and the labels that people use, which gets everybody to get on this hate train. You know what I'm saying? And so when you do something that's not normal to them, they automatically put it down, or, you feel me, stop hanging around you or being around you. And then what does that do? It scares you into submission. You know what I'm saying? Listen, absolutely not. I want to be able to naturally submit, meaning the connection, the soul that you have, the spirit that you own. You feel me? The ability to love yourself is an attractive ass trait. You feel me? And you'll naturally submit. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying, something that's forced. It's a natural submission. Meaning, I see what you got going on, what you doing. You feel me? It's a connection. It's unlike anything that we've ever known, because we've been in a world where forced submission, meaning I force you to submit through fear, through control. You're going to get so scared that you're not going to have no choice but to do what I say. And it's been something that has been going on for so long, through slaves and whippings. Ooh, nigga, that's horrible. And then through ass whoopings as we gotten older. You know what I'm saying? And listen, it's just keeping in control. You can't go against nothing I say, because I'm in control. I'm in power, without allowing people to have a mind to be able to speak for themselves and be who they are. You'll naturally follow rules and naturally submit when a person earns their respect instead of demanding it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, with the two being so different, it's almost as if, like, you have to work on yourself to achieve something that you've always wanted, that you couldn't figure out why you couldn't get it. And it's simply because you had to grow. You had to go from missing to found. You know? I no longer feel as if I gotta be attached to anybody and do what you want me to do for me to be myself. Absolutely not. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? We've been pushed so far away from self-discovery, of truly realizing who we are, and realizing that as humans, we held the power this whole time. It's just we were pushed so far away from discovering who we are to be in the control of someone else. And this just ain't just happening now when I was born in 88. This been going on way before, you know. But again, when it comes to God, Allah, whoever you pray to, I believe truly that it's just an alignment in the universe and the energy and how it impacts us as human beings, because we're all connected to the universe. So as that energy shifts and certain planets align with their own energy, it changes the course of how systems are ran in the world. And as that happens, it pushes people to grow from the old conditioning to the new conditioning, which means you stand in your truth, you be honest, and you abide by the rules how they're supposed to be. You can't lose. But when you got to control and manipulate and force fear and all that, I promise you, it will not work. It will not work, because that era is over. It's now time where people are going to be able to connect on an energetic frequency, not on the attachment. You get what I'm saying? So listen, find yourself. You are out there somewhere. If you ain't working on the steps to get there, takes a lot of owning who you are and getting away from people that don't want you to be who you are. It's very hard work, but I promise you the results are so beautiful. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.